Welcome to Off-Grid Victory. So I am here in my orchard, as you can see, and I wanted to talk to you about today some of the drought conditions we've been having here in the Midwest and in the West. Of course, the fires, and of course here in the Midwest, it's so dry, and people's harvests are definitely going to be down for the year. Definitely was for us for fruits, including the persimmon. But this is the first year where I actually watered my fruit trees pretty much. We've had a couple weeks straight without water, and so I decided to go ahead and water them. So over there I have my IBC container. It's rigged up with a 12-bolt pump with a hose to pressurize it, and of course a spray nozzle and a hose to reach out. And the way I lined these trees, as you can see, a car can cross through, and also on the diagonal it can cross through. And I did this intentionally years ago when I planted these trees, like here, as you can see, the diagonal here, so that if I had to get a vehicle through here, I could. So anyway, that's how it's designed, the orchard. So I want to show you how dry it's been. Now I did kind of go through and grade this a little bit, so that's why there's not a lot of grass here, but you can see splotches of green there. It's pretty much brown there, and it's not because it's all summer grass. I mean, it's mixed, right? It was a former pasture area, so it has all sorts of different grasses, fescue, summer grass, all of that good stuff, sage grass. But anyway, so what happens after you water these trees? So let me show you. So here, right here on its lonesome is two experimental trees that I put here like probably 2 years ago. These are pawpaw trees, which we have in the forest, but really I can't get to them because of the ticks and triggers, and because we're not there all the time, we don't know if they have fruit or not. And like I said, it's not worth getting down there to look at those pawpaw trees. So I decided to plant my own a couple years back, but these really haven't taken off. I mean, literally they're about the size of when I purchased it, so they haven't done anything. But the reason for this video isn't that, it's watering, right? So look at the stark contrast between the neighboring areas of the grass here and some dirt, and this guy right here, right? So watering truly does help, and it's not like I watered every day. I actually watered these like every 3 days or so, 4 days, and you can see the stark difference. I mean, I'll just scan back here, and then of course you can see the stark difference out there in terms of the trees. And so yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Years ago I decided to plant these trees, and I said, well, hey, if they're not going to be able to survive here in the Ozarks, then what real use is there, right? Like, hey, if it can't survive on its own, then I need to replace them. So this year I had, I would say 2 trees die on me in my orchard. There's one over there, I don't know if you can see that, and another one somewhere else in my other orchard. And I realized, you know what, I spent a lot of money on these trees, and to the extent that I need to water it, I'll go ahead and water it, just so it can make it through these harsh conditions. So at any rate, yeah, that's why I rigged up that big old IBC thing to water, and that's what I'm doing right now. And so yeah, these are one of these occurrences where you have dramatic shifts in the weather, and this is probably in the last 7 years or so the worst drought we've had in this area. And of course that's why these plants look like this. And even my wells, the static water level in those wells have dropped probably at least 50 feet. I mean, that's how bad it is. And of course, you've seen my videos of the pond as well. So yeah, some of these important trees, you got to do what you got to do. So yeah, you got to water it, right? I hate doing that because I really like seeing things grow naturally without a lot of human input. But unfortunately, this is one of those things where it requires a little bit of human cultivation, right? So watering yeah, something you got to do in the summer with your trees, even if they're established like mine. Alrighty, shalom.